Let's go straight to Shadow Cabinet Secretary Andrew Wallace now. Good to see you as always, Andrews. I'll get to that meeting in a moment, but I want to start firstly with the scenes that we saw at the Herald Sun Bush Summit today, where the Prime Minister was heckled by angry farmers over net zero. The PM says that he won't BS people on the issue. His words, not mine. Is he?
The election in 2022, when he promised Australians on no less than 97 occasions that we were going to get a $275 power reduction if all we did was just follow his lead. And clearly the electorate sucked it up. They voted for Anthony Albanese and Labor, and what have we got? We've got power bills which are now more than $1,000 than what we were expecting. So Australians are doing it tough. Power bills have gone up. We had the figures come up during the week. 39%. Gas has gone up by 38%. And it's only because now that the subsidies, the Commonwealth Government, now the election's over, the Commonwealth Government subsidies are coming off, that people are starting to feel the real pain in these utility prices. Australians have been sold a pup, and I think they've all got buyer's remorse.
Oh, I agree, but even with the subsidies, I mean, it was just a case of you and I paying each other's energy bills, so it was never going to be the solution to all of this in the first place. So I completely agree, exactly, and I can see why farmers are angry. Now, look, as I just mentioned, who knows what was going on with Richard Marles and his alleged meetings in Washington, but it all seems to be part of this ploy to get Anthony Albanese a meeting with Donald Trump. How many ministers is the Prime Minister sending over there? Why can't he put his big boy pants on and get on a plane to DC himself?
Well, I think there's actually a legitimate question as to whether he really honestly wants a meeting with Donald Trump. You know, he says he does. He says he's trying to hook up this meeting, but it's been now 296 days since President Trump took office. And we are supposed to be one of, if not the closest ally of the United States. They certainly are to us. And yet President Trump and the Prime Minister can't seem to get a meeting together. But I think the Prime Minister is actually running scared here because he does not want an Oval Office meeting like what happened to President Zelensky. He does, and mind you, the President would have a lot to attack the Prime Minister on his position in relation to defence expenditure and the recognition of Palestine. I think the Prime Minister is very, very worried about an Oval Office meeting.
I completely agree with you. He's absolutely terrified. But in the end, does he want to bridge the gap or not? That's the question. Now, look, Iran's envoy has left.
That's his job.
That's his job. It's a leadership thing. Iran's envoy has left the country after being expelled this week, of course, amid revelations Iran orchestrated anti-Semitic attacks. He referred on X to, quote, the occupation, apartheid and genocide by the illegitimate Israeli regime. And then at the airport, there were quite wild scenes. Have a listen.
Ambassador, how do you feel being expelled from Australia?
Nothing in particular. Part of the job.
A pack of stenographers. Sorry. You repeat the lines of the Australian government. You should be better than that.
Were you aware of your government's alleged involvement in these activities?
No, I'm not talking about baseless accusation.
Andrew, what do you make of this, and has Labor gone far enough to defend this country against the attacks by Iran?
Look, there's been a lot said this week, Danica, about Labor's inaction, but let's just look at it again. We have been calling out, senior leaders of the coalition have been calling out for the IRGC, the Iranian Revolutionary Guard Corps, to be listed as a terrorist organisation for 2.5 years. You know, and some people might say, well, what's the benefit in them doing that, or the Australian government doing that? I'll tell you what the benefit is. It is actually, once a listed terrorist organisation is enacted in the law, it's illegal to provide direct or indirect financial support or any type of other support to a listed terrorist organisation. So all of these groups and individuals that are out there flying the Hezbollah or Hamas or the Iranian flags, if it's a listed terrorist organisation, then they would be committing very, very serious offences because they're supporting a listed terrorist organisation. I think our law enforcement at a state level needs to really crack down harder on this. But I tell you what's really concerning me is that there's this significant unease now. We've got a foreign state actor that has committed the most egregious foreign influence attacks and terrorist attacks in Australia. They're trying to break down social cohesion in Australia.
Yeah.
And yet this is the same country that provides financial support to Hamas, and this is the same organisation that is running Gaza.
Yeah.
To which the Prime Minister only 2 weeks ago has said, well, they want to reward Hamas with Palestinian recognition.
Well, and not just Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthi rebels as well. It's all been financed by Iran. So that's why it baffles
Absolutely.
me that the PM's equivocated on this. Andrew Wallace, we've got to leave it there. Good to see you as always. Thanks so much for joining me.
Authorised by Andrew Wallace, LNP, Boccarina, Queensland.